what's your experience about in these structures you're describing? Do people learn the stuff of the course?
Absolutely. In my experience, when I took Psych 250, because I came back and I attended Sandy's class before I became a TA, I'll be completely honest, it's the same thing that I'm still doing now. I was just trying to get my grade point average up so I can get into the majors program for psychology. And as soon as I went in there, I suddenly realized what was missing from all of the other psychology classes I had taken. And it was the fact that instead of being asked to memorize, okay, here's a word, memorize the definition, you're going to be asked to define it on the test. Instead it was, okay, here's this word, here's what the definition is, now what does that mean to you? How does that, bounce off of your own internal fiber? And I've noticed that not only with myself, but with every learner that I've had, that I've had the privilege of witnessing, they've come through knowing that much more about not only the psychology that's in the textbook, but the psychology within themselves. And on top of that, the students that I still keep in touch with, as well as the people that took the class with me, that TA'd in the class that I was in, it seems that real and lasting relationships are built. And if that isn't the whole of society, of all of us being working in groups together, then I don't know, maybe I'm just missing the point. But if I am, hey, I'll let it go by, because I think that is. I think that's really what, I think that's what the human condition is.
Yeah, kind of related to that, and especially what Katie said. I think I used to have this idea that I wanted to go out and sort of this grandeur idea about wanting to save the world, and I realized very quickly that I didn't really know how to approach that or where to begin, and so I was kind of upset about that I wouldn't be able to fix everything, and that if I were just in charge, there wouldn't be this issue, but. But I think it's the whole starfish idea. I don't know if you guys know that story about just saving one starfish at a time, and it's that. This for me is like a starfish, and just being able to know that there are other people out there who have the same ideas as me or have the same desires as me in terms of wanting to help and wanting to make things better and wanting to do something and not just sit around and be okay or, sort of resign ourselves to the way the world is. I know that it's scary that there's so much stuff, especially, between, politics and economics and all those sorts of horrible things that seem to be getting in the way of that. But I think just by doing this, it's doing something. And, and even if we don't change everybody's mind about the way the world should be, at least, when I have my small groups or when I'm talking with people, if I can get just one person to look at it a different way, then that's good for me. I can die happy. I've done that at least. And, that was my starfish. And I don't need to go save the whole ocean. I just need that one starfish, and I think that keeps me grounded in not getting so caught up in how am I going to get everything done. It's let me just do what I have to do now, and be content with that, and be okay with that. Because I feel like sometimes I get annoyed with people because they're not doing what I want them to be doing, or they're not understanding what I want them to understand. But I think I've realized that I can't get that from everybody, and I shouldn't have to get that from everybody, and all I want is just my starfish, and I'm okay with that.
I guess for me, I'd like to respond a little bit. I'm having both sides of my brain having. I'm struck again. So going back to 2 years ago when we had our salon, I'm looking at how, once again, of the feeling of the preaching to the choir. So here we are, people who have sensitivities to these thinking, and this is really fabulous for me, and I'm sure some of us that need some rejuvenation because we're trying to hold the basket. I love that metaphor. But what's also true is I guess there's a part of me that feels a little cautionary and and much as I would hate to admit it, probably a little cynical at this point, around this this danger that I see about getting oh so special about what we humanistic types do, and how those people out there really need to be educated by us. And I think that's really dangerous and kind of missing the boat. And so I guess I really want to speak to that, because for me, to myself, as I consider myself a person-centered learning teacher, but in my class, you do follow structure, and you are giving me material that I'm asking you for, and I've created a way that there's both and not either or.
That's right.
And I think that as I know Steve, who was a student of mine, as was Wayne, which is kind of a trip, sitting here going, oh my God, that means, you know, I'm older. But as I realized the challenge of trying to keep what I know is really true and effective to help people grow, and at the same time not becoming so specialized that then I alienate the very part of the population that I feel compelled to want to kind of be with in a way that might make it bigger for both of us, rather than I have something to teach them because they're wrong because they have this other idea. It's more like I want to be infected by as many people as I can and be infectious. You know what I mean? So that I'm not polarizing. Because what I'm experiencing in the psych department, if not in the university, is a polarity that I think becomes really dangerous. Which is, you know, we have this precious thing, you know. So I guess I want to kind of reiterate what you said in some way, where for me, the precious thing becomes not only what's here, absolutely, but then how do I hold that mirror, or, you know, drop my own feelings of what's right, what ought to be, so that then kind of resonate. You know, I'm more surfing than waiting for the right wave, I guess. I'm struggling with this. This is a dilemma that I feel, because I'm in a funny position, you know. I'm somebody who's been here 25 years as an educator, watching the senior guard retire, those suckers. I mean, they actually think they can quit working. I mean, they have a real problem here. And so, you know, I feel like I'm stuck between two worlds, you know, junior faculty trying to rise up, having been pickled in the juices of these senior people who have, you know, changed my life. And so, how to hold both, you know, it's a dilemma, I'm grappling with it.
You know what, I feel, I just want to say, I feel it's hard because I feel defended, because it seems like it's either or. If you're engaging people with who they are and you're allowing people to be person-centered, they can't possibly be getting the materials they're supposed to be getting. It's impossible for them to be who they are and to learn what they need. No, nobody can do that. But and you know, we've had this conversation, and most of the students in here know. They get everything that they need to know, and, you know, in terms of the didactic materials. We do that within the context of the person-centered learning stuff. You too.
I wanted to say something about the way I've been introduced to person-centered learning was through Art Warmoth's class, and what I found was that it was learning how to be open-minded and understanding the rational root, to use Ortega, one of the readings that we're guided towards, and understanding how to experience our own experience from a self-reflected place, and then take that experience and find out what is important to me or to myself, and how do I effect that or emote it to make it grow, and where do I learn to research and find these materials, which is a lot harder than having it spoon-fed to me, and which I find very challenging, because then I'm in the library research, I'm on the web, I'm exploring, looking, and seeking, and it's like a little treasure hunt in the river, going, wow, where's the gold? You know, it's